Alright everyone, what's going on? So I was inspired to do a full yard video tour from another video that I saw this week, and I realized I haven't done a full yard tour since probably the summer of 2020, maybe even May of 2020. So it's been a while. A lot's changed in my yard and I've moved some things. My front yard's not very impressive, so that's where I'm going to start. I think I've got like a few, like 5 things in my front yard to even share, so I'll go ahead and start there. I might try to do some side-by-sides with how it used to look, but there's been a lot of growth, so we'll get started. Alright, see you in a sec. Alright, so I just recently did this video on this Peruvian apple cactus, and you can see what I'm most proud of, the growth of my little boy here. Hi Jackson.
Hi.
He's gotten bigger. So this Peruvian apple cactus, it's actually getting pretty close to eating time. The birds seem to like it. It's actually pretty squishy. Why don't you peel that off and we'll rip it open just real quick, because we don't want this to be a crazy long video. So rip it open with your fingernails. Look at that. Why don't you try it real quick?
I'm really excited about this.
Any good?
It actually is a little bit sweet.
It should be a lot sweet.
It's more plain.
Nice. So coming over here, this mango was in one of my videos, actually the mango video. It's a seedling that was grown off of my Kathy. When its leaves come out, they're really red. It's really cool. Then back here is like a 6-year-old pepper plant. Out of all the pepper plants I got from Ed Curry at Pepper Company, yeah, I'm trying to say that out loud, it's fun. That's the only one that actually has survived and has lived. It's actually a rat turd pepper. They're mildly spicy. Then coming around the corner, this is kind of my pride and joy. There's actually like 5 different date palms on this sucker. I got this from the ASU germplasm. A lady down there named Debbie was holding a class. It was supposed to be in March of 2020. Ended up not happening, and so she kind of gave me a private class on how to remove this sucker. I did make a video on it. That video did not turn out very well. Maybe someday in the future I'll show it, but it was interesting removing it myself, and it's a very rare variety that's somewhat related to the same area as the Medjool. I tasted them. They were awesome. So here's a little moringa that's planted from seed, and then we'll be going very shortly into the backyard, into the jungle. But just really quick, not trying to be a stalker or anything, but my neighbors, we've given them a lot of bananas. They've got bamboos, so we kind of share a lot of tropicals with them. So we'll see you in the backyard in just a sec. Alright, so we're in the backyard now. I thought I'd start out with our Barbados cherry, because this thing has had an impressive year of growth, and I'm really proud of what it's been able to give us as far as fruit goes this year. So if you can see here, we got a couple different spots where we still have some cherries. It's November, guys, and this thing's still giving us fruit. So awesome year for the Barbados cherry. I'm gonna highly recommend it. So then, to give you guys kind of the full landscape of the yard, this is our swimming pool. Trying to fill it with water and clean it. But we walk over here, and I've got a couple wolfberries. I've got a purple wolfberry and then the natural wolfberry. And if you look really close, you can actually see, let's see if I can zoom in and see them. You can see the wolfberries. This is actually the first time I've noticed that. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a wolfberry expert. I'm excited that I see some wolfberries. And then you see our passion fruit vine starting. Guys, it's November, and I've got passion fruit still flowering and forming, only in Arizona. And our vine, it just covers our entire back wall here with these trellises that I had my son and I built. There's our jelly palm. And coming over here, just more passion fruit. On the back side, you'll be able to see the jamun plant, which we'll show you. I'll just walk around just so that you guys can see. I've got a giant pineapple palm or Canary Island palm that came with my house. Anybody wants to come rip it up, it's theirs. Then I planted some sugar cane just because my sugar cane was kind of getting out of control on my side yard. I'm going to use it as a privacy screen. I have a young peanut butter plant here, along with a black mission fig. I found that the peanut butter fig really likes the sun, so it's doing better there. Then right here is my jamun. It's a great looking plant. This thing was grown from a cutting. Actually, it's not a great looking plant. It's kind of all over the place as far as contortion, but it's cool, so I like it. And then down here I have a sweet tamarind tree. It's actually gone through a couple winters and it's doing really well. This back area right here is my white sapote area. It's not all my white sapotes, but I got 3 of them over here. So I've got a young hands, a redlands, and then a Vernon white sapote, which I thought had died, but it didn't. Then here's the back side of my passion fruit vines. Those are just pretty impressive looking vines. And then I'm going to take a couple steps back and show you guys the tangelo. It's a mature tangelo tree. This is one of the 4 trees that gave us fruit that was here when I moved in. It's actually a pretty big selling point. It gives us about 300 to 400 tangelos every year, so it's pretty cool. And coming back over here, I want to show you guys, this was a berry bin that I had. So I've got a Nova and a York elderberry, and then I had some raspberries and whatnot, but they all passed. And then I have right here, I have a pink lemonade blueberry, followed by a black Suriname cherry, and back there is a red Suriname cherry, and a few varieties of boysenberries and blackberries that I had moved into this raised bed here in the back. I've got a little dragon fruit trellis that I'm experimenting with, haven't had great results. And then right here I have my loquats. So most of these are seedling loquats, but one of them is an Oliver loquat. And these things weren't really growing, but once the neighbor decided to cut down their Cicero tree that was back there, these things got a lot more light and did a lot better. I know they need shade during the really sensitive times of their development, but after they're established in the ground, they need light. So that's a tip for you guys. Right here is my little patch of avocados. So I've got several of them. These are the ones that I did a video about having to transplant them in July of 2020, and they are all still alive. So happy about that. They're all just Home Depot varieties, but doing well. I have a little star fruit in the back here. Got it from a seedling cup at a rare fruit sale, and it's growing, so hopefully that'll go well. This is supposedly a strawberry loquat that was purchased from Alex over at Tropical Mango a couple years ago, and these seedlings are doing really well. I understand that it might be a long time before I see it. Then this is my bad news, guys. So I had my Aravaipa, so happy about my Aravaipa. I did notice when I was planting it that the tops were dying back a little bit, but I had hoped that maybe it was just gonna have a little bit of transplant shock or something, but even before I planted it, it had a little bit of that and it ended up dying. So moment of silence for the Aravaipa. So I'm just replacing it with a Mexicola Grande from Home Depot. Not sure if I'm moving, but if I'm not moving, I'll replace it. Then here's a Florida giant mulberry. This thing is growing like a weed. It was a small tree that I got from Green Life about a year ago, and didn't lose its leaves at all last year and has just done tremendously well. This is my little asparagus and basil patch. It's doing well. Over here is the bane of my existence. I won't be talking about that anymore. Up here is my Florida Prince peach. This thing was planted as a bare root last year, and it's probably my biggest stone fruit now. This thing is just amazing, and it grows like a weed. Back here, also where I am not mentioning my irrigation system, I have 2 dead multi-grafted pluots that were overwatered from a broken pipe, and then I have my lemon tree that we're in the canopy of, and my Shangri-La mulberry that I'm in the canopy of, and my orange tree that I'm in the canopy of. So this is kind of my major micro shade climate area. This orange tree will be hacked down to nothing because they taste really, really bad. And they're not sour orange, they're just not our favorite kind. So the Shangri-La is an impressive one. It's getting harder to film these things, guys, but I've got right here, I've got my pink Barbie guava, and it does kind of smell like pink lemonade. Still have guavas on it, and it's November. Pretty freaking cool. And I showed you guys that I did air layering. This isn't my update video, but this is just a sneak peek that they are, in fact, coming through. So stay tuned for that video. The mulberry part will be a little sad, but so be it. Okay, so then coming back through, I have a Mexican cream guava, and this thing needs a lot more light than it's getting, so if anybody wants it, let me know and you can have it. Then I have my Lang Jujube. This thing has been an excellent producer. And if we come back here, what's left of my stone fruit, I have a Flavor King Pluot, I have a couple plurries, and my apricots and apriums are along this line. Ice cream bananas, the pups are unreal this year. Given a lot to my neighbor, and he's grown a lot too. Praying Hands banana still holding strong. Then I'll take a couple steps back so you guys can see my Black Beauty mulberry. These things are interesting. They're like almost a dwarf mulberry, and they will grow like a tree. Like, they don't have any drooping branches at all, at least mine don't. And you can tell it was grafted because there's another type of mulberry that it's probably a male, but I'm gonna find out before I trim it, that was growing from the bottom. So taking another step back, you can see my ghost apple and my Fuyu apple, or Fuji apple. Fuyu's persimmon, I always get them mixed up. And then I've got a plethora of pomegranates that I don't know what variety because that was a gift. There's another one of my GA866 Jujubes that I did a video on recently. Those are excellent. And I have a small Prafraki pomegranate down here. You guys can see now the backside of my stone fruits where my apriums and apricots are. And there is a mid-season Midgard peach right there that the top part died off, but it has some life, so I'm going to give it a shot. This, I just did a video on my hugelkultur bed that I had torn down, and if you want, check that video out. That one's pretty cool. Then I'll take a step back to see my white mulberry. This thing needs to be seen to be appreciated because it's the gift that keeps on giving. We've trimmed it a lot. This year I'm going to be trying to do some grafting of more desirable varieties on it. The white ones are good though, so it's not like it's a useless tree. We do really enjoy the white ones. So then this is the fourth tree that came with our house. It was a grapefruit. We believe it's a ruby red. It's pretty good flavor. Wife loves it. Then we have our apple banana patch back here, or Manzano bananas. It's not Monsanto. I said that wrong once. And then here's our Pakistani mulberry, and this thing is growing like a weed. It was just a small cutting. Here's some black timber bamboo that I got as one of the cheap bastard sales at Seamus O'Leary's a few years ago. And then back here you can see our dragon fruit trellis, and it's really coming in good. It's just kind of taken over, and it weighs so much I can't move it, so I'm gonna have to wait until I've recovered from my surgery to be able to move that sucker. And then right here I have Nam Dog Mai mango. Is the first mango at this house. This is a little warning not to plant wood chips next to your bark. And then this whole side here, I need to clean it up. I've cleaned it up a little bit this morning, but it's mainly my Arc Pride blackberry. And there's my McDill white sapote, which McDill white sapote was the first tropical plant that I grew. Then you can see I'll have to do this from a distance, but this is my sugarcane stock. I just got some motorcycle ties and tied that all together before I moved them and transplanted some. And then to appreciate it, you can see my black sapote, which is already probably 15 feet tall. It'll probably be taller than my house. When I built this structure for it last year, it wasn't even close to the top, so the structure is kind of useless. So now we're going through my jungle, which I need to prune a little bit. But we walk right in and you see the coconut cream mango just struggling to get some light, so I need to open it up. I've got quite a few bananas in here. I will not be replacing them when they give me fruit. I have a papaya that's kind of cresting up inside of this black sapote, and it had fallen over, and I haven't staked it because I'm just letting nature kind of take its course. Then right here I have a lychee. One of the cool plants, one of the last ones I got from Russ's True Value before they went to the dark side and started selling patio furniture. And then this is a longan that I had gotten the year before that, so they're both doing really well. I think this one needs a little more iron because of how yellow the leaves are. On this side I have my Valencia Pride mango, which of course I decided to plant the mango that grows the biggest right next to my house. So we'll see how that ends up working out for me. Then I just have a couple plantains back here, and we'll go under to show you guys the rest. Okay, so on this side I have a Phoenix mango. It's actually right up here up front. It's very hard to see with everything mixed together. And then what stacks up really tall here is a Kerry mango. On this side I have a lemon meringue mango, and that one is grown like a weed. And then I have my Rajapuri and Namwa. I don't know which one's which bananas. One of them is fruiting, and I recently did a video on dwarf bananas here. And then this is another ice cream. So these are all part of my backyard. So hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing this update. I like making them. The update ones are just getting really hard to make now that the vegetation's coming in so thick. So we'll get creative on ways to show you guys. I know I saw one of my other YouTube kind of following friends, Michael, do one with his drone, so I might end up having to do something like that. But for now, this is what we get, and I just wanted to get something in for 2021 since it's been a crazy year. And we'll catch you next time. Subscribe. Bye.